When I took the class in seminary about dying churches, I never thought I'd be in one, even though I had been exposed to several. I didn't think I'd ever be in one and see what's happening without being able to influence those who are there to do a different change of course to keep the church from dying. But I ran across that. It was like two bulls hitting horns in the field, neither one giving way. I knew what would work, I saw what was happening, and I tried to make a difference. But they weren't having it from me. Though they liked me, though they were nice, most people liked me. There were some small fries that didn't really like me, and some Fannie Mays, at least one, they didn't care for me. Though they smiled at me, they stabbed me in the back and were snaking the grass. But overall, most of the people were very friendly. But here's one thing that I noticed, and I went to the minister, who, by the way, preaches a good sermon, and I asked him, I said, "Are any of your sermons online?" "Oh, yes, they're at our website." "That's it?" "Well, yeah." "You don't have them up on anything but your website?" Places like YouTube, Sermon Audio, Sermon Index, Sermon Anything, but definitely YouTube. You don't have them anywhere else? Nope. You could reach people if you met them where they hang out. And a lot of people hang out on YouTube, and then you could link that over to Facebook. Fortunately, the minister noticed what was going on with the church and was doing everything he could possibly think of to stop the decline, and agreed with me to allow myself to take the recordings from the website and put them around. See, here's the thing. A dying church will not look outside of what they're doing. Their service and their preaching and their message might be the same and seem successful and never change it for the last 10, 15, 20 years. So they don't see any need to change or put it out anyplace else. But there is a need. There are missionaries overseas who have to depend on satellite internet to be able to pull anything down for spiritual food. They don't have the time to go around hunting for sermons in private websites like a church website. They don't have the opportunity because it costs them per minute. They don't have a lot of money. But on YouTube, when they can get on it, they can punch in sermon, and then they can find somebody they like, and if it's on YouTube especially, they can get to it easier, copy what they can, and then listen to it on their computer without having to pay for the internet every single solitary minute. They can take it back and listen to it twice, 3 times for spiritual food. So since I was very successful at doing this and had over 20 million users, I decided to go ahead and put his sermons up and to help him out. This is something I suggest doing because his following alone on YouTube was quadruple what was sitting in the pews. And then I suggested to the board they need to set up some way to be able to give online. Got a little rebuttals on that one, but they finally listened and set it up so that they could go ahead and receive money online, not only from their parishioners, but also from others who want to give. And so that was finally done. But that took a couple of 3 months. I don't remember how many, but it took a while. And then it wasn't easy to do at first, so I tried it, hated it. I said, you got to make this more simple than this. Do PayPal or something. Make it easy. Well, they haven't done PayPal yet. It's still a little bit more difficult than to give easily. And that's something that I'm still trying to convince them to do. But change things up. Put your sermons of your minister up on places like YouTube. Link them over to Facebook so that you can bring the awareness of its availability up, make it easily accessible, and provide an email address with the church bank account hooked up to a PayPal address so that people can give easily. It has to be easy. We're working with a 6-second attention span. It takes longer than that to do anything. People are not going to give. They're not going to sit there and try to find you. Make it easy. Use your keywords. Put in sermon as one of them. And use your keywords so that people can see what this sermon is about, and then an acronym of the church so they can punch it in and find it. Create playlists with your sermons. I would suggest, if nothing else, you do a playlist for each year that you're going to upload, and upload your old sermons that you have recorded. Never leave your sermons for someone else to record. Make sure that your minister is recording his sermons himself, or there are a couple of people dedicated to use their phone and record it, either audibly or, even better, video it on your phone. You don't need professional stuff to do it. And then that way it can be uploaded quickly onto YouTube, and then always put in your description how they can give money. This is a fast and sure way to help increase your exposure online and move your church to where people can be involved internationally. My one ministry alone has happened to be in all but one country in the world, which is a feat in of itself, but that took over 10 years. YouTube has grown in the last few years to over 47,000, soon to be 48. But you need presence. You need presence, an easy, accessible presence. Grow your church outside of your building. Remember, you're trying to get the community in. If they see and hear your sermons, they will be more interested in stopping in because they'll feel more comfortable. So make sure your presence is there. Make sure your comfortable pictures of your fun that you're having at church is there. Make sure that they see you're serious about bringing the Word of God to the people, and that you're meeting their needs and reaching out. Have a number for them to call if they need to ask for prayer. That's something that this church does not have yet. It doesn't have a phone number where you can call and speak to someone to ask for prayer. So there are still things that can be done to make your church relevant. I mean, come on. It was 12:30 at night on Friday when I was taking 2 weeks in a day, to the hospital for emergency surgery because my appendix ruptured. Who was I able to call at that point in time to let them know that I needed prayer? No one. I had to get on Facebook and send a message over to the pastor, but there was no number to call at church to start a prayer chain going. The church was not relevant in my time of need at all. Fortunately, I was able to get the pastor a message via Facebook, but the church needs to be relevant, or it stands no chance, because the church next door is more than likely more relevant, and so you're going to lose people to the church next door or the church down the street. You have to be relevant. Reach out of your building. Stop focusing inward. Start focusing outward. The world is your oyster. Take your sermons and bring them to the world, and make giving something that can be done easily and become relevant. Stop dying. May God bless you, and hopefully this will stop churches from closing and make them more relevant. It would be nice to be able to call for prayer and a prayer chain any time of the day and night when emergencies happen, especially. God bless.